First of all, many people don't know where Kiribati is, and of course it's spelt Kiribati, but the TI is actually an S. Things that we are exposed to are incredible. It's a beautiful culture, it's a beautiful country. You've got high unemployment, you've got delays in shipping. Logistically getting anything there is really difficult.
I'm a banker. I have no experience in logistics or shipping or anything, but we needed to get 4.4 tonne of coin into Kiribati, and we'd started in 2020 trying to get the coin in.
Over time, that we sort of get depleted, it reduces down to, to the bare minimum, and then it just doesn't come back to the bank. And so, it puts pressure on the bank, and as being the only commercial bank in the country, there is a sense of obligation to be able to provide it. We needed the coin desperately, and being where we are, remote in the world, it's very difficult to organise, let alone find vendors and stakeholders that are actually interested in helping us out.
And it wasn't really until February this year when we engaged with Swires that everything started to happen, and they were just incredible to deal with, yeah.
The thing is, there's no direct service, so we really had to get a little bit more creative in terms of how we actually move the container to Kiribati. And we had to mobilize our different teams in different countries from Australia, Singapore, Fiji, and Kiribati. We knew that there is going to be a lot of effort to be put in to be actually able to execute this. I clearly remember Mohammed from the marketing Australia and Stephen from the operations team. They told me this means more than just moving one container there. It represents, what Swire Shipping is as a company, and which is why we should try our best to do it.
And of course, you throw COVID over the top of it, and all the protocols and the challenges of overbooked shipping lines. It was just really, really challenging for everybody. But they just kept going. I think that was the amazing thing. Whereas it got hard and they could have stopped and said, "This problem's too much for us," they didn't. They just kept going and finding solutions. We just had that faith and trust, and it was really well placed.
The coin was that short there that you'd walk into a shop and the shopkeeper would have a book. So you buy a can of Coke, for example, for $1.80. You'd hand over a $5 note. They couldn't give you change, but they'd write it in a book, like an IOU. So when they got the coin, they'd actually call the customer and say, "We've got some change, come and get it." So again, the fact that Swire were able to bring that coin over has made a massive difference to the lives of everyday people in Kiribati.
The shipment left Australia on the 5th of June. Took 102 days to get to Kiribati. It did this massive great trail up around southern Asia. I mean, the amount of people that were involved, even before the shipment arrived in Kiribati, we had 10 people from ANZ across 3 different countries working to make this work. Swires had 7 people who at various times came in and out of the arrangement. That's a lot of people, that's a lot of human hours that don't get charged for making something work for a country with 120,000 people right on the edge of the Pacific Rim.
Normally, when you look at moving containers, volume is key because, that's our business. We want volume to fill our ships. But every once in a while, you see a case like that, and I think it means more than just, getting the profit from that container. It's more about helping our community when the opportunity, presents itself.
Once we started working with Swires, because that was in February, and then 17th of September, the coin was finally landed and made its way into the vault, and the people of Kiribati could stop keeping lists of how much coin they owed or change they owed to people from the shops. It was just a joint effort, and everyone really was almost that sort of round the Pacific Rim high five that we finally made this work.